talking, I don't sweat that. If they don't trust me either, I respect that. But she need down the ride, oh I bet that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that, don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that, don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is JH. How you doing, Postal family? Is everybody good? Is everybody cool? Everybody clean? Are you crisp? Are you feeling irie today? Well, let us chat, shall we? Transparency. That's all everybody wants is transparency. When it comes down to a contract regarding the individual that is paying a due, the due that is going specifically to the union that is supposed to be representing the workers that are making this whole thing go around, that could possibly and more than likely affect that specific worker or workers for the remainder of their due days, for the remainder of their life. And why do I say the remainder of their life? Because whatever happens in this union contract that comes up is going to have a direct impact on the actual worker for at least 3 years. A lot of things happens in 3 years. People can lose their homes in 3 years. People may be forced to move within 3 years. People may be uprooted from their comfortable living within 3 years. So whatever goes into these contracts affects workers, especially in this day and age. So recently, they have been being more transparent, which is what I've been a champion for many, many, many years. Just be transparent. No behind the door closed deals. That's what we've been talking about. APWU has finally come forward and has a contract survey. Whether or not they follow through with it, at least they're being transparent. Rural letter carriers have been being more transparent. Problem is that the National Association of Letter Carriers have not been transparent, which leads to so much speculation. Speculation is bad because when you have a craft that has more than everybody else in this whole country, people get fed up. Especially when there's news out there of how the actual stewards are conducting themselves. Not just news, their own words. You can't take words away from video comments. They're there forever. Good thing is that the workers have been tired, and now they're stepping up. They're stepping up. I'm gonna read you an article. And I'm hoping that more workers step up for their rights. All they want is transparency. Momentum for open bargaining. Transparency grows in the letter carriers. Letter carriers in Minneapolis organize their own contract rally. Typically, the Nation Union office members no role and little information about bargaining. Members who think it's time for a new approach are getting organized. Remember, they have a Zoom call coming up on April 14th. Y'all need to register for it. Hit by years of inflation and inspired by last year's contract struggles and big wins by the big three auto workers, UPS Teamsters, members of the Letter Carriers Association at the U.S. Postal Service are getting organized to fight for open bargaining. Transparency. So far, 23 National Association of Letter Carrier branches and one NALC state association have passed an open bargaining resolution first put forward by NALC Branch 9 in Minneapolis. In many more branches, members are discussing the resolution and plan to bring it forward in the weeks to come. If I have any shop stewards on here or presidents on here that are representing your people, and when they bring it forward, do it. Do it. What do you have to hide? You don't have to hide anything. Or do you? The resolution calls for NALC leaders to articulate clear demands up front and give regular updates about progress of bargaining so they don't have to come to me, angry mailman, and every other person out here to get bits and pieces of information. They wouldn't be coming looking for information from some weird guy on YouTube if they just did this up front. Kind of what they pay their dues for, right? Currently, members are being kept in the dark. It also calls for NALC to mobilize the membership through national coordinated rallies, like the contract rally held by Branch 9 in Minneapolis. That would bring together membership, a broader labor movement, and the public in the support. Underpaid and angry. Letter carriers are angry, and like workers everywhere, are dealing with the cost of living crisis. Starting pay is $19.33 an hour for new hires, classified as CCAs, who do not receive the benefits of career employees for up to 2 years. This two-tier pay scale was forced onto letter carriers by an arbitrator after the 2008 recession. For workers hired after 2013, the starting salary is $16,000 less than the pre-2013 pay scale. So as they moved up in time, $16,000 less than the people that were there before you. While the top pay is the same, it takes more than 14 years to reach it. In fact, it takes more than 8 years just to reach the starting pay of the pre-2013 pay scale. It takes more than 8 years for somebody starting now just to make the starting pay that they were getting paid back in 2013. And they have more work today. CCAs can also be forced to work overtime any day that they are scheduled, forcing them to live in limbo, never knowing their schedule for hours or for any given day until the morning of. Yeah, it's kind of the sacrifice that they're making. Pay is the biggest problem, but in many cities, another acute issue is short staffing, driven by mandatory overtime, the low starting pay, and hostile work environments at some stations. I'ma just say it, man. I love a lot of the supervisors and managers that I interact with, but shit, some of y'all got some people that are just straight trolls and tyrants. And then they try to utilize this, I'm not drifting. This mentality is, that's how I have to be. Who the do you think you are talking about that's how I have to be to your peers, to the people that you're supervising? What kind of management are you? Because if my son's teacher told me that's how I have to be, if my son's baseball coach said this is how I have to be, gotta watch what I say on here. You ain't nobody outside of this job. When you clock out, you the same as everybody else. Stop treating your employees like trash. It just reflects on the person that you are. Binding arbitration again. Contract negotiations began in February 2023, and the contract has been expired since last May. Throughout the process, NALC leaders have given members sparse updates. They ain't give y'all none. Usually only pertaining to the process, with no specifics about whether we've made any headway or even what the union has proposed on higher wages, the two-tier pay scale, or other issues. Arbitrators have been selected, and it appears the contract is heading to binding interest arbitration, which would mean that an arbitrator would decide everything. Letter carriers would get no vote on our own contract. Not ours, I'm not a letter carrier. It's likely too late for the open bargaining resolution to force a change of course for this contract. But after seeing other unions fight to win historic contracts in 2023, we want to follow suit for the next one. It's clear the old approach doesn't work. Opening bargaining would mean we put up a fight, not allow negotiations to get dragged out for more than a year while members are suffering under the impact of inflation. A new approach. We're in a new era for the labor movement. Letter carriers are ready for a new approach for negotiations, ready to fight for a better deal than we've gotten the past few contract cycles. A serious discussion has begun in the union about how to best build power and put maximum pressure on the bosses. Our power does not come from having the best lawyers or contract negotiation team, but from the 200,000 active letter carriers who make USPS run. The National Association negotiating team would be significantly better bargaining position if we put forward clear demands and if they had an active, confident, and mobilized membership standing behind them. Basically, what they're saying is, if I were the one stepping up to the table and I came up and I said, listen, just so my peoples know, this is what I'm coming for. I'm coming for $40 an hour. This is what the contract says. Here's the paperwork. This is what I'm going to present to the post office. $40 an hour. If you agree with me, let's talk about it, because I'm going up there. And I'd love for you guys to be outside with your picket sign saying this is what we want, so that when they look out the window, they can see us all united. But you see, that's not what they're doing. That's not what they're doing. That is a full front approach. Because if they said, hey, anybody on your day off this upcoming Saturday, we're going to go talk to them. We need you there. And the more people, the better. Imagine the people sitting in them buildings, looking down and seeing that sea of all of you in blue. But you see the people that sit up top in your union, sometimes they just want things for themselves. Members are getting organized through monthly Build a Fighting NALC Zoom meetings organized by rank and filers. The first meeting on January 28th had 104 people in attendance. The second meeting on March 10 had 150, including stewards, branch presidents, and members from across the country of every layer of the union. So, if you made it this far and you just happen to be a carrier of some sort, they just said they only had 150 on that Zoom meeting. I need y'all to break the internet. I need you to break Zoom. They're asking you to get on there. 104? That's less than some stations have. 104? That's a joke. There's 200,000 of you. 200,000. And they only got 104? Maybe that's why your president looks at you like a joke. Yeah, I'm not here to make anybody happy. I'm just here to pass on information from my perspective. But what would it look like instead of 104 people chiming in and that thing say 15,000 people are on this Zoom? That's not hard. Because I'm sure that more than 15,000 of you watch the Super Bowl. See where I'm coming from? Less than an hour you can spare. Build a Fighting NALC. And trust me, I never carried mail a day in my life. This doesn't affect me either way. But a lot of you, it does. Members have gotten together to discuss open bargaining resolution and how to pass it at their local branches, how to fight back against the postmaster plan for postal consolidation, and the need to get organized for the union's national convention this August. A nation divided amongst itself ain't nothing. A union divided amongst itself, there's no union. There's no uni in the union. National Association members and supporters can register here to join the next Build a Fighting NALC Zoom meeting on Sunday, April 14th. Sunday. Ain't no excuse. A Sunday. Ain't no mother French door excuse. On the topic, what does a fighting union look like? Feel free to share the link with NALC members who are interested in building the movement for open bargaining. This is from Tyler Vasseur, the shop steward in NALC Branch 9. Well, Tyler, I appreciate you coming out, and you know I'm going to just pass your words on. And like I said, I've never delivered mail in my life, but I'm putting the information out there. So I am going to leave the link to this. And I'm going to go take a peek on April 14th. And I hope there's more than 104 letter carriers. Because if you really want that money, I'm going to go back to my video of 2 weeks ago. Shut up and do something about it. Do something about it. Do something about it. It is your future. You have an opportunity. Do something about it. This is JH. It is 3:45 in the morning. You know why it's early? Because I started gaining weight, then I started losing weight. And I didn't like the way I looked. So I started working out early in the morning while my little man is asleep. I did something about it. It's time for you to start doing something about it. Y'all be safe. Y'all be blessed. This is JH. Pretty good there, right? Yeah. Shut it off, Charlie.
Unexpected expenses stressing you out? Get the money you need now with Loans for Feds, a program designed specifically for federal employees. Bad credit is not a problem. Application is fast and easy with same-day approvals. Apply now.